headquarters is, but some of them were in other locations around the world. And it's, I want to say there was like a 6-week, 8-week over the summer paid kind of internship. Value was like $18,000, lodging and travel and. Yes, sir. Oh, 5 minutes. Okay. Okay. I just started a little early. Oh, all right. Yes, sir.
Has there been any experiences whether women or men adapt better to the weaknesses of space? Is there any difference? I could imagine there might be, but
the only thing that I've heard, and I'm not an expert in this area, is that actually a smaller person, a shorter person, tends to have better response.
Reflexes?
Schematics or
Around flexibility, balance.
That's what I learned, though.
Did they ever find out that women are just as good as fighters as far as the physical, like the G-suit and everything?
Yeah, I mean, they've had women since 90, I think it was 93. They've been fighter pilot. There are women now who are commanders of squadrons and things, military bases around the world. Yes.
Before you talk about what people thought about women pilots, personally, I walked on an airplane sometime during the 80s, 90s time frame, and there was a woman sitting there in the captain's seat. I walked back and sit down and said to the guy next to me, "What do you think about that woman that they're flying this thing?" I was flying with me. He said, "I used to serve with her in our Air Corps." It was the Air Force then, but
Yeah.
it wasn't the Army Air Corps.
Well, I think one of the best responses I've heard, one of the WASPs, one of these women from World War II, was giving a talk one time, and she ended her presentation with, I never saw an airplane that asked me if I was a man or a woman before it would start. So I think that kind of said it all. I think if you've got an interest in aviation or space, I think you ought to pursue it. The opportunities are certainly there. People ask me all the time out there, and people try to keep women out. No. I mean, I know companies that would love to have more women. I mean, they're looking for people, good people, who, whatever classification are, that if they can, meet the requirements, they'd love to have them. I think the biggest mission we have, and I'm sure it applies to your society as well, is getting the word out to young people that there are opportunities that these, programs are out there, because a lot of times in the schools, I don't think they get much information. They've got required curriculum they have to cover, and there's certain things that there's only so much time in the day of the school. Yes, sir.
There's been a school of thought that thinks that space crews really shouldn't be female because they're not dealing with all this testosterone.
That they should not be, or should be?
Well, they should be female crews. They're generally more stable,
I know NASA had a first female space station commander, Peggy Whitson, who just came back early last year or late the following year. In fact, I just saw her at Oshkosh just last week. She has something like 370 some days in space on the space station. I mean, she did very well.
Well, this would be accrued. Have there been any studies of the various psychological factors, female crew versus male crew, as far as
Not that I'm aware of.
tolerating a confinement?
You got a couple of minutes.
Okay. Not that I'm aware of. I haven't heard of a study just looking at female versus male time in space adaptability. Yes, ma'am.
Have you heard anyone who's in a female in the military flies, and they do fighters and they're in a combat area, but they're really not supposed to be termed combat pilots?
Have I heard of a situation where a female military pilot was...
Am I incorrect in my understanding that we still think that women aren't in combat, and yet they are?
Oh, yeah, they definitely are. I mean, there's hundreds of them.
They're not supposed to be, like legally or...
Oh, yeah, they are supposed to be, yeah. There are women, like I said, who are now commanding squadrons over in Iraq or Afghanistan, who are actually bomber pilots and fighter pilots engaging in combat missions. And according to my watch, we're 2 minutes over, so I'm going to cut and say thank you very much for being here. If you have other questions, I'll be around over by our booth for a little while. Be happy to meet with you. Thank you.